Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as Serbia. Now, in the last video, we sort of started going down some of the election stuff. Where's my fucking timer? God damn it. This is what I get for not being... This is embarrassing. This is highly unprofessional. I apologize. So we got the timer going. Last video, we started sort of going socialist. I saw a few of the YouTube comments up until the last part, because I'm recording this on Tuesday, and the last part came out on Tuesday. And so some people were telling me some stuff on how to handle it. I have no idea what's going to happen. We might fall on our faces horribly. And if that happens, I'm okay with that, because we're going to have fun. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. The People's Radical Party, hoping to mobilize more support for electoral campaign, has begun to form uniformed paramilitary organizations to serve as the party's arms in the countryside. These organizations, named the green shirts after their uniforms, are the idea oh, fuck off, Dropbox. Get out of here. Are the idea of Milan Stodanovic, the leader of the party, and are very clearly inspired by the success of the Iron Guard next door. Though it may seem odd for a liberal democratic party to copy the policies of a radical national populist movement, it's also not illegal. Dragomir Vasik and the Serbian Republican Party now have to make a decision on how to respond to the radicals' militarization. You know what? Fire must be fought with fire. Our own paramilitary. Why not? I'm mostly fine with the idea of a popular front. So I think we'll go with that, because I think that might potentially be easier to manage. Although that might cause a bunch of issues, I don't know. I've iterated a couple times. I don't know how Serbia works. So this might go horribly, or it might go beautifully. Or it might go somewhere in between. I don't know. Let's see. We could go ahead and resume cash crop exploration. Get rid of Black Friday. That wouldn't be too bad, honestly. I'm okay with that. Serbia retains a very agrarian economy, but its isolation and the recent economic troubles did severe damage to its major imports. With the economy market prices largely stabilized, we can resume agricultural exports and invest these profits. Yeah, why not? I think we can go ahead. So we'll lose political power, but we'll get some weapons or some manpower. I think we'll go for a little bit of manpower. Ooh, okay. The day of Saint Vedas, or Vidovdan in the Serbian language, is considered to be the most important date of the national identity of Serbia. It is at this day in 1389 that the medieval kingdom of Serbia defended its independence against the Ottoman Empire in the Battle of Kosovo, an event which forged the national myth of the Serbian people for centuries to come. Ever since 1918, however, the commemoration of the day has been silent and modest. This was a day when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Sarajevo, an act many Serbs still cannot live past, for it has brought them so much destruction and loss. During the reign of Alexander II, a small monument was erected in Gazimistan to honor those who fell in battle, but the observations there remained silent, or small. 1936 was different. President Dragomir Vasik himself attended the observation in Gazimek, drawing large masses of Serbs to visit the monument for the first time. There, to thousands of his countrymen, he made a speech, and the language was shocking. For the first time since the end of Veliki, the leader of Serbia declared that what they all experienced 20 years ago was a national humiliation. It robbed Serbia of its ancestral lands and the people in Niš and Macedonia, and Serbia must not resist until it finds a way to return them to Belgrade's fold. The heroes and martyrs commemorated during Vivodon fought for a free united Serbia, after all, and the only way to honor their memory is to overthrow the shackles holding Serbia back today. The speech was met with thunderous applause and patriotic chants, while the six political opponents made announcements as electoral pandering. Everyone can tell that this makes a sharp turn in the history of Serbia, that it will no longer abide by the Treaty of Rojholtz and forge an independent destiny ahead. Zavela Serbia. Zavela Republika. So we lose the Treaty of Rojholtz, and secret rearmament has been replaced with open rearmament. Okay. So what do we got? Ooh, let's see. So we have to do one of the following. Restore conscription, raise reserve divisions, leave for Rojholtz free trade area, or form the military council. So let's go ahead. We'll do this another time then. I think a good idea... Let's go ahead and restore conscription, I think. Treaty of Rojholtz, among other things, prohibited us from enacting conscription or raising the size of our army above 35,000 men. Without conscription, however, we will be unable to field any conscript force. Thus, we must rectify this immediately. What do we got? The People's Radical Party is one of the oldest political parties in Serbia, founded as a liberal reformist party in 1881. It defined Serbian politics before the Weltkrieg, dominating the political scene under Prime Ministers Sava Grunjak and Nikola Pasic, and championing moderate reform. It had a falling out with monarchy immediately after the war ended, however, as King Alexander's personal disdain for Pasic led to his dismissal, the party moving to the opposition and finally to the underground. It reluctantly supported the Republican Revolution of 25 and stands as the more right-wing of the two main establishment parties in Serbia. The radicals, led by Milan Stojanovic, are in a comfortable position. While the left is in fighting, the right is largely united, as the radicals and agrarians have a lot of shared ground, while minor parties like the Democratic State Party and Tovic's royalist radicals are nothing to worry about. Should a stable, powerful right be maintained, only the radicals may form a government once the election concludes, which will be the strategy of this election. Let's see them go on the offensive. I think, yeah, that's going to be fine, I think. So we have, yeah, the Treaty of Rojholtz is dead, and the Serbian Eagle spreads its wings once more. Equipment is being purchased, a new generation of pilots and officers are trained, the nation mobilized in preparation for restoration of Greater Serbia. Now that works. That works for me. Curious, how are we doing construction-wise? We still have 3 factories. That kinda sucks. I was hoping we'd get a few more, but that is what it is. Let's hold off on leaving the free trade area for a little bit. Let's see, what's Black Friday doing to us? Stability, construction speed, factory output. I mean, getting rid of it wouldn't be too bad, but... yeah, let's resume getting rid of it real quick. Do you want to add any building slots? Do Cernagora maybe? I don't know though. Let's do concentrated. We're not gonna have that many factories, so we want them to be as good as possible. Don't have time to get better artillery, so I'll go ahead and get, Special Forces, too early for Special Forces. I think radio works, actually. Let's get radio going. Clique falls into civil war. The Socialist Workers' Party was founded in 1919 as a merger of the Social Democratic Party of Serbia, Serbian trade union organizations, and Montenegrin socialists, and its ideology has since left a syncretic mix of all ideologies to the left of the establishment. Syndicalists, Marxist socialists, social democrats, and agrarian socialists all found a home in this party. It was banned by the Obzana during Alexander II's regime, but continued operating in the underground, supported the Republican Revolution, and joined paramilitary politics as the leftmost legal party in the Skupština. Socialist Workers' Party has had to fight an uphill battle in the election. Even if they can harness enough anti-establishment rhetoric to achieve a plurality, they always have to worry about the possibility of an anti-socialist grand coalition between the Republicans and the radicals. Therefore, this goal is not just to grow their own support, but ensure their allies on the left can outweigh the rightists. What will be their strategy? Send out some feelers for a left-wing popular front. I think that could work. Man, China's a bit of a mess right now, isn't it? And then Algiers. Mordoc. Which one is he? Is he the Democratic one? Looks kind of Democratic. I don't know. I don't know how San France works anymore. I really don't. Let's go ahead. Let's form the military council. Proposed by General Mladic in years gone by, Reform Council would go a long way to expand and modernize a fledgling army. With the Austrians off our back, it's time to follow up on Nedic's proposal and commence his reforms. And then we could go ahead and demobilize a little bit. Or mobilize a bit. That's what I mean to say. Let's do early mobilization. And hopefully that will move us to... Yeah, that'll still cut us down a little bit. Oh, Belgium's free. It's good to see that. Elections, very fun. It's always good to see Belgium. I remember we played on the YouTube channel a while ago, and that was fun. I wish them the best of luck, because we might need it. Okay, so, after a year campaigning, politics is passed, and now the final step remains. Polling stations have been established across the country, and the votes are cast determining the victor of the election. The votes have been counted with little more than a few hitches, and they reveal the results in the new Skupština will be that the socialists lead a left-wing front. Interesting. Okay. Victory for the people. So here we are. The old man of a socialist, Trufan Trista Kaiserreich, was born in 1879 in the Serbian countryside and became involved in the socialist movement during his student years. In the lead up to the May coup of 2003, he and his fellow students organized a protest against the increasingly absolute Alexander I of Brenovic. He remained in opposition even after King's assassination and the rise of the Karađorđević. It's probably not how you say it, but what are you going to do? Now leading member of the Social Democratic Party, Kaiserreich spent the years leading up to World War I fighting for labor rights, representing the workers in the Skupština, and demanding rights for socialists. The end of the Weltkrieg saw the socialist movement split. Some, radicalized by the Russian and French revolutions, turned to violence. Others shunned themselves from the ideology entirely, or clung onto reformism even in the tense atmosphere of post-war Serbia. Kaiserreich led his faction of Social Democrats to the nation's Socialist Workers' Party and commanded it for the following decades. A grand hegemon of the left, the SRP unites everyone from Social Democrats to open syndicalists. Kaiserreich stands at the top of it all. All of them can respect the elderly, collected founder modern Serbian socialism. So it looks like we got a couple of things we got to do. So we got to own niche. To own niche, we need a lot of popularity. Okay, so we need to own niche. So we gotta prove ourselves to the people. came to power with promises, and promises are what we need to fulfill. Much of the population are conservative and unsure whether the revolutionary path is right. With swift, effective, victorious governance, we need to prove that we will truly be able to provide for the average man, so acquire their support in the revolution. So we gotta have to own niche. So that's a big thing we gotta do. And it looks like the same for the army. We have to own niche and consolidate tax system, do nationwide something, or I'm gonna guess that comes up with okay, so we can do this to give ourselves some more time. So we can do the Congress of Belgrade after this, which we have 8 days left for that, so that's reasonable to do. And then get working on this. I think do one of these. Nationwide coverage. Looks like we can only do the Suzor coverage. Which that'll be fine. As long as we go niche and do one of those, that'll be fine. Then we have to defend the army. The Serbian army presents a serious threat to our rule, beset by reactionaries and nationalists in all of its ranks. Whatever we do, we must tread carefully, not create heroes out of the military during the Fourth Balkan War. Only that way can we guarantee that we can dispose of our leadership when we need to. Fair enough. And then, gotta consolidate the Popular Front. We did not come to power alone. Our allies to the right give us votes. We need Mishkupshina to pass our policies. But no, just working with these class collaborators will not do. We must infiltrate and destroy them from the inside and merge the most radical of them into our ranks. So how we're going to do that is to be determined. But we'll get to that maybe. Oh! Okay, well, sure. A mere few days after the election concluded, the streets of Belgrade have begun to buzz with activity. Not only were the rumors of royal sympathizers organizing a push against the socialist-influenced government true, but the situation is even worse than initially believed. The White Hand, led by the former commander of the Royal Guard, Peter Zivkovic, has been playing the strings from the shadows. This military clique, loyal to the house of Karađorđević, played a major role in Alexander's royal dictatorship and never quite dissolved, only moving to the underground to foster the resistance. Belgrade awoke to the sound of gunfire as royalist brigades marched in, locking down the city and surrounding the Shukshina, taking Trifun Kavalog and the members of the legislature hostage. Oh shit. Petar Zivkovic gave his 2 demands: ending the exile of the House of Kaiserreich and the appointment of him as prime minister. Technically, Zivkovic isn't demanding for anything more, but logically he will strong-arm a restoration of a monarchy within days, unceremoniously ousting the republic. Members of the legislature were able to put out a telegram request for military assistance before the phone lines were cut, but it's unknown whether it was actually received. Here the members of the Shukshina have 2 options to choose from. Either they can hope that the rest of the Serbian army is behind them, or take to the streets to rally the people into Popular Guard, which will resist the push. I'm going to save real quick because I don't know what's going to happen. Let's rally the people to resist the coup. Let's go! Zivkovic's coup collapsed within hours. The soldiers rallied to the side of the White Hand, faced off against reinforcements, and fearing that the Republicans will only be able to rally more support as time passes, most of them stood down after brief skirmishes. Petar Zivkovic and the royalist officers commanding the conspiracy have been seized and arrested. For their conspiracy to overturn the Constitution and destroy the Democratic Republic, all of them received harsh prison sentences, and the White Hand conspiracy is dissolved for good. The threat of royal resistance has finally ceased. Thus unto all traitors. Let's go. Established at the end of 1925, the young Republic of Serbia has recently held its first national elections in its history. Between Black Monday, renewed ethnic violence in Bulgaria, and creeping rumors of a shadow government in the military, the 36 elections were made out to be the most contentious yet. An incredible upset, the victors of the election is neither the Progressive Republicans nor their radical rivals, but the far-left Socialist Workers' Party, who formed a popular front with the rest of the left-leaning parties. This development triggered a failed coup attempt by the nationalist Chetnik paramilitaries and worries for the military as a whole. While the SRP is receptive to military figures for now, observers doubt that this peace will last long. Bulgarian robbers, your time is near. Form the military council. Next, I think, let's do the Congress. If we are to topple the Bulgarian hegemon, we cannot do it alone. We will need the help of the other nations with outstanding issues with Bulgarians. Now that Bulgaria is weakened and diplomatically isolated, we will have the greatest opportunity possible. We must gather our allies in this endeavor and liberate southern Serbia. Let's do it. Got a couple of days to do it. Well, the cooperation of the Balkan nations against a common foe, despite their internal disagreements, is a path well trodden by history already. The Balkan League, formed between Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece to defeat the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans, was a prime example of that, even though it disintegrated into the Second Balkan War mere months after victory. Today, Serbia, Romania, and Greece stare down against another hegemon, the Tsardom of Bulgaria, and each of them have their own territories to reclaim. For almost 2 decades, the thought of such an alliance occurring was unthinkable. The 3 Balkan states have been dismantled, weakened, disarmed, and the eye of the great powers of Europe are ever watchful. By the 1930s, however, the situation had changed conclusively. The ever-constant frailty of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and thus lacking will to intervene in the Balkans, has already given the Balkans miners a chance to rearm, and now it is giving them a chance for them to plan together. Bipartisan summits and diplomatic talks have been taking place between Serbia and Romania since 1932, and Serbia and Greece since 1934. It's all culminated in the Congress of Belgrade. A 14-day summit in the capital of Serbia is a cultural event as much as a political one. The diplomatic planning between the foreign ministers of the 3 states takes place in parallel with the dialogue between the universities of Belgrade and Bucharest regarding research and student exchanges, for example. Regardless, by the end of Congress, the delegations of the 3 states released a 14-point resolution, the most alarming of which was a recognition that only the self-determination of peoples, according to their ethnic allegiances, may be considered a just path to sovereignty and territorial claim, and called for a new order in the Balkans to implement this principle, presumably at Bulgaria's expense. Open the Congress. So we have the faction, and we'll have to wait and see what happens next time. Because I gotta here, folks. Thank you so much for watching, though. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, hit the sub button for uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concern, leave it in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any all feedback you may have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of the sort, check out my Discord. If you want to send a few bucks my way, check out my Patreon. If you want to see me do a sort of life, I have a Twitch, all of which are down in the description box below. That's it for now, folks. Thank you as always for watching. My name has been DB333. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.